Well, hello! Today I'd like to give you my first impressions of a Geha 726 fountain pen with an oblique fine nib. You've seen a few Gehas on this pen channel. They were eventually bought out by Pelikan, but apparently you can still buy office products in Germany with the Geha brand name, just not fountain pens anymore. Which is a shame because I like their offerings. And they kind of give you that nice 70s flavor, not the gaudy 70s, but the classy looking part of the 70s style. So let's take a look at it. All right, so let's take a look at the Geha 726. Kind of an unassuming plain black pen, which a lot of the Gehas I've had are. Has a sticker here that tells us it has an oblique fine nib and gives the model number. On the cap band, we've got Geha, made in Germany. A little something here that I'm having trouble making out. Rolled gold. Okay, one of these days I'll have to talk about rolled gold, plated gold, and gold filled. But rolled gold is kind of in the middle. So not too much on the finials. Uncap it. Got a nib we've seen before if you've watched other Geha videos. This is, let's see if it works on this one. Yep. This is what's called a reserve tank. What it is, when you run out of ink in the pen, then you push the button and you can get a little more ink. I'm going to push it back down by pushing down the piston. And this time we're going to look in the ink windows and see if you see what happens when I push up the reserve tank button. There, you see that? A thingy popped up. So apparently there's a tank down in here somewhere. And then when I roll the piston back down, okay, that failed. When I turn the piston back down, there we go. I was accidentally unscrewing the piston from the pen. Which incidentally, if you ever do want to do that, because I had to do some massive cleaning on this pen, that's why it has this knurling here. If you grasp that in turn, you actually unscrew the piston from the pen. So let's ink it up with some exciting Parker Quink washable blue. Boo! Boo! Ah, get over it. I'm trying to use the bottle up because I'm trying to have less bottles of ink around. Alright, so for a first fill, the ink windows are full, so we'll call her good. A lot of ink to go yet in that bottle, doggone it. So I don't know how well the obliqueness will show up on this nib. It does mean it's ground slightly at a slant. Judging by the beginning here, I didn't have it totally clean, but the reserve tank does add some challenge to that. Parker Quink washable blue. Does seem to be a nice wet writer. One thing this ink has going for it, if you're into vintage pens, it's very vintage safe. Another thing it has going for it, if you're worried your pen might have a leakage issue, especially some pens have a bladder in them and they have bladder control issues, it is washable. And it's cheap. So, a little bit of pressure seems to put more ink out, but doesn't seem to give it a whole lot of flex. Yeah, the oblique character is there, but it's very subtle, which I would expect with an oblique fine. Oh, where did all that ink come from? Huh. Speaking of leakage issues, we'll see if that continues during this review. Or if I just didn't wipe the nib off properly. How was I doing? Wetness and flow. I don't know what to do if I have to get down into the section and fix stuff. Seems to keep up. Smear test. Yeah, pretty wet. Not seeing any more of that ink developing, so I guess that's good. Reverse writing. A lot of obliques don't handle reverse writing terribly well. Because I guess I would have to do it like the, oh God, it's cutting into, oh God, okay, not even going to bother. That was horrible. It was just cutting into the paper no matter how I held it. All right, and finally, the world famous Peer Gustafson test. I think that went swimmingly. So, that is the Geha 726, and I want to say it was a very, very smooth writer. So, that was the Geha 726. I like it. This is a good daily writer type of pen. This is the kind of pen you'll just, you're not going to do fancy calligraphy with it or anything. This is the pen you just use to take notes with or write letters with or whatever. And it doesn't look like much. I think the obliqueness adds a little bit to it, but with a fine, it's very, very subtle. But I like it. I'm trying something new where I filmed the ending to these videos a few days after my first impression, and my impression is still good. I am a little bored with Parker Quink Washable Blue, but that's another story. I've enjoyed writing with it. I've got several letters I've written with it. As far as pocket test, since I don't have a pocket, went right on the t-shirt with no problem. I appreciate that Geha does the snap cap. I think the piston works very smoothly. And it's just a nice quality feel. It's one of those slim black pens that I've always said I like. So, hope that was useful. Hope it was interesting. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.